I'm trying to figure out what to say so this video doesn't get demonetized. Trying to figure out what to say. I am at a loss for words right now. I don't even know if I have anything nice to freaking say, but I don't want this video to get demonetized. So I'm gonna try to keep it friendly. What up, Micro Mike? I'm gonna try to keep it friendly. I'm gonna try to keep this PG 13, but I am upset. I am upset. Mike Tomlin got another year from him to be mediocre. And I've saying this so many times. The Pittsburgh Steelers were once upon a time the gold standard of what the NFL franchise was supposed to be ran and how it should be ran. Then the New England Patriots came along. Okay. For a long time, the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers were the gold standard for how you run the NFL franchise. Then Mike Tomlin comes along. Okay. He won the Super Bowl against Arizona with Bill Cowher's team. Most of the players on that team were Bill Cowher's players. Okay. 2 years later, we go back in 2010, we lose to Green Bay. And ever since then, the Pittsburgh Steelers went from this, and every year we go this, 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 and this. Every year since 2010, Pittsburgh has declined. Decline. And here's the thing, right? People are going here's people's argument. They're gonna be like, Mike Tomlin is a winning coach. He wins games. He's a good coach. Okay, he's a good coach, but he's not a good coach for the Pittsburgh freaking Steelers. Antonio Brown literally bullied his way out of Pittsburgh. No discipline, no accountability, and the Pittsburgh Steelers' expectations fall every single season. You see, let me use a good example, right? Alabama football. What is a successful season to Alabama fans? Winning the championship. Now, if they don't win the championship, they at least need to be in the college football playoffs. If Alabama isn't in the college football playoffs, it's a failed season. It's a failed season. Mike Tomlin has let these expectations for the Pittsburgh Steelers fall every single season. I don't know, me as a Steelers fan, I've been a Steelers fan since I was in third grade. I was 8 years old. I'm a senior in high school now. Been a Pittsburgh Steelers fan for like 11 years. And expectations have failed. You don't know what the F you're talking. Really? What has Mike Tomlin done for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Tell me. Other than let us go from a Super Bowl caliber team to a freaking missing the playoff team. We had Le'Veon Bell, Odell Beckham, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, and Ben Roethlisberger all in their prime. And did we win any Super Bowls with those guys? Let me know, Tyrone. Let me know. Let me know. Tyrone Patton, let me know. Did we win any Super Bowls? Did we win any Super Bowls? Dude, how do I not have a fan base? I literally have almost 3,000 subscribers. That's a fan base. Tell me, Tyrone. Tell me, what has Mike Tomlin done for the Pittsburgh Steelers the last few seasons other than underachieve? We lost to the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars in the divisional round. A team that all they could do was run the ball and all the quarterback could do was throw a crossing route. Are you serious? Are you serious? We lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars at Heinz Field. We lost to a one-dimensional quarterback with an offense that all they did was run the freaking football. And they put up nearly 40 points on us. 40 points. And Mike Tomlin's supposed to be a defensive-minded coach. And we let Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars put 40 on us. Dude, you keep saying these insults, but you're not even speaking no facts. You're not defending Mike Tomlin. What are you talking about, man? Are you actually gonna say something to defend Mike Tomlin, or are you just gonna keep throwing these blatant insults that I don't care about? Come on, man. What has Mike Tomlin done for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Expectations have fallen every single year since 2010. Went to the AFC Championship game against New England, and we got stomped. What has Mike Tomlin done for the Pittsburgh Steelers? I don't care about winning Win don't mean nothing. You can win all you want to. You're supposed to win with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's not long enough to join the Cowboys. Bro, why you think Dallas Cowboy fans don't like Jason Garrett? Dude doesn't win hasn't went to this dude hasn't even went to an NFC championship game, no Super Bowl. With a certain franchise and certain expectations. As a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I expect to be in the AFC championship game nearly every season. Not losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars in a freaking divisional round. How many Super Bowls have been won in the history of the NFL? However many Super Bowls there are. What? 53 Super Bowls? And how many of those Super Bowls has Pittsburgh been in for the last decade? With one of the most talented rosters in the NFL that we just let gone to waste? You tell me, Tyrone. You tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Where's your loyalty at? Dude, a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, as a real Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I tell it how it is. Mike Tomlin is not a good coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And nearly almost everybody in the fan base agrees, but you. Literally, we lost to the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars and missed the freaking playoffs last season. We constantly lose to teams we have no business losing to. We lost to the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. Every time the best coaching game I've seen Mike Tomlin have was against New England last year. That's the best game I've seen Mike Tomlin coach. Real fans are supposed to live in a delusional. Apparently, I guess Mike Tomlin. I don't know what anybody else is saying about Mike Tomlin. People say he wins games, but he doesn't win championships. I don't care about winning games. Nobody's gonna remember. Nobody's gonna remember about all the games that Pittsburgh won. Nobody's gonna remember us not winning. People only remember championships. Nobody really remembers what you did in a regular season, unless you go undefeated or something like that. People remember championships, not what you do in a regular season. What has Mike Tomlin done in the postseason that's been noteworthy, other than get beat down by New England and lose to the Jacksonville freaking Jaguars? This dude has underachieved. We had one of the most talented rosters in all of football and won no championship and didn't make it to no Super Bowl. The guy never had never had a losing season. Never had a losing season. That's expectations. Mike Tomlin is supposed to win games. You're trying to say he's perfect. Dude, Bill Belichick has never had a losing season. How many elite coaches? Mike Tomlin never having a losing season. But yet we missed the playoffs. I don't care what the record says. That's a losing season. If the Pittsburgh Steelers are not in the playoffs, that's a losing season. If the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't competing for championships, that's not a winning season. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been a franchise that always has the expectations of competing for a Super Bowl. Always. So the fact that you're saying that never having a losing season, what expectations? You mean dude, the whole fan base has an expectation. What are your expectations as a Steelers fan? You're okay with making it to the playoffs? You're okay with mediocrity? You're okay with mediocrity? So you're okay with losing to the Jacksonville freaking Jaguars with a one-dimensional quarterback who can only throw crossing routes and all they did was run the freaking football game? Those are your expectations? You like not making it to the playoffs last season? You like getting stumped by New England in the AFC Championship game a few years ago? Wow. Wow. So you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but yeah, you're defending a guy because he never had to win and he never had a losing season, but yeah, we haven't went to the Super Bowl in how many years? It's been almost a whole decade since Pittsburgh last went to the Super Bowl. So you're defending a coach. You're not speaking facts. You're not speaking facts. I just listed several things. Ever since 2010, Pittsburgh's expectations have fallen down, 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 down. And fans like you are the example of that. What positive thing has Mike Tomlin done for Pittsburgh when it comes to winning the Super Bowl the last couple of seasons? Nothing. New England has how many Super Bowls has New England won the last decade? What? How many? How many? And what has Mike Tomlin done? We've let Antonio Brown walk away. We let freaking Le'Veon Bell walk away. Big Ben is wasting his prime while Mike Tomlin gets an extension. And freaking extension. So you like watching, so as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, it didn't make you feel some kind of way that all the other teams that New England was winning their sixth Super Bowl, tying with the Pittsburgh Steelers for the most Super Bowls in the NFL, while we watched from the couch? We weren't even in the playoffs this year. So as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you're trying to tell me six Super Bowl, how many Super Bowls has Mike Tomlin won? Don't talk about six. Don't mention six Super Bowls with Mike Tomlin. He didn't win those Super Bowls. He only won one of those Super Bowls. So let me ask you this: since you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, Tyrone, how many Super Bowls has Mike Tomlin won? How many has Bill Cowher won? How many has Chuck Noll won? Let me ask you that. And also for a fact, when's the last time Pittsburgh went to the Super Bowl? Mike Tomlin is a guy who has let expectations drop year after year. We literally did not make it to the playoffs last season. We literally lost to the Jacksonville freaking Jaguars, who were one of the most talented teams in all of football that season. We had Antonio Brown. We had Le'Veon Bell. Arguably two of the best players at their position. Big Ben was playing like a top 5 quarterback, and we lost to the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars. A quarterback who could only throw a crossing route, and all they did was run the freaking football. So where's your realism at? You're defending a guy who has constantly underachieved every season. That's all he did. Underachieves. We've underachieved last season. How do we miss the playoffs? I don't care if we didn't have Le'Veon Bell. James Conner was a freaking Pro Bowler. It's absurd to complain. Dude, are you freaking serious? Complain about a coach who never had a winning season. Let me give you guys... Let's compare this to Alabama football, right? Alabama's football expectation is to compete for a national championship every single season. In the NFL, you have certain level of fan bases who have a certain level of tradition of winning Super Bowls and competing for championships. New England, Dallas, even though they haven't won a championship in 2 decades? Green Bay, Pittsburgh, all NFL teams that have a rich tradition of competing for Super Bowls and championships. So imagine how I feel about Mike Tomlin not leading Pittsburgh to the Super Bowl despite having one of the most talented teams in all of football. We got Le'Veon Bell, arguably the best halfback in the NFL. Antonio Brown, arguably one of the best receivers in the NFL. Big Ben played like what against the Jags? Oh my God. And what did the defense do? What did the defense do? What did Big Ben do in the playoffs? What did Big Ben do in the playoffs? You see, we're not going to put on... Big Ben is to blame, but without Big Ben, we don't make it to the playoffs. If Mike Tomlin was to get fired, the Pittsburgh Steelers would still be a playoff team, and not because Mike Tomlin is the coach, because Big Ben is the quarterback. I don't care what people say about Big Ben regressing. Without Big Ben, Pittsburgh is nothing. You don't remember too many. Wow. Are you serious? So what about when Kansas City ran up the scoreboard on us this past season? When Mike Tomlin's supposed to be a defensive-minded coach. And yet, when it comes times that we have to play elite offenses, I never see that defensive background. New Orleans lit us up. New Orleans terrorized our defense. I didn't see no defensive preparations. Didn't we choke against the LA Chargers? We were up 2 touchdowns against the Los Angeles Chargers, and we choked that game. Are you serious? Are you serious? And I know Kansas City run up the score, but when we play when Mike Tomlin is a defensive minded coach, so we shouldn't be having Kansas City run up the scoreboard like everybody else. A defensive minded coach. We had a top 10 defense this season. Mike Tomlin's supposed to be a defensive minded coach. So when it comes time to play these elite offenses, I don't expect Kansas City to be lighting up the scoreboard on us like how they do all these other teams. Mike Tomlin's supposed to be a defensive minded coach. So why isn't the defense prepared for elite offense like Kansas City? I didn't see Kansas City putting 40 on New England. Oh, actually, they did one game. But other than, all right, I'll give y'all that. I'll give y'all Kansas City. But the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2017, when they put up how many points on us in the divisional round game, that was unacceptable. Blake Bortles was a guy who could only throw run route, a crossing route. And all they could do was run the football. And yet, Mike Tomlin didn't have that defense ready to play. Let's talk about how we lost to the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. We constantly lose to teams we have no business losing to. People are really defending Mike Tomlin. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. A guy who has constantly underachieved with arguably one of the best rosters to never win a Super Bowl. We had Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, and didn't win a Super Bowl with those guys. We had Big Ben in his prime, no Super Bowl. We literally had the most Pro Bowl players in 2017 and didn't even make it to the AFC Championship game. But yet he's never had a losing season. But yet we're not competing for Super Bowls. Pittsburgh, if we're not competing for Super Bowl, that's not a good season. His record. But he doesn't do anything in the postseason. We haven't made it to the Super Bowl in how many years? That's regular season. He's supposed to win games. He's supposed to win games in the regular season. That's really an accomplishment? Winning Super Bowls doesn't matter? Winning Super Bowls doesn't matter to you guys? We're not winning no Super Bowls. We're not doing anything in the playoffs. When's the last time we went to the Super Bowl? In 2010 against Green Bay? That was how many years ago? Mike Tomlin hasn't gotten us back to the Super Bowl since 2010. You're underestimating what it takes to good coaching. He has a solid team, but a good coaching staff. Why does New England always beat us? Not because they're the better team. Because over the last couple of seasons, when you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers roster versus the New England Patriots roster, the Pittsburgh Steelers are a way better team than New England on paper. But why do we always have a hard time beating New England? Because Mike Tomlin gets outcoached by Bill Belichick. You got to have a good coaching staff to win the Super Bowl. But yet Mike Tomlin's supposed to be a good coach. But yet when it comes time to face the masterminds like a Bill Belichick, he gets outcoached. He gets outclassed. We can't beat the Patriots. That's our kryptonite. We can beat the Jaguars. I'm not going to say that's our kryptonite, but we can't even beat the New England Patriots. Getting outcoached by Bill Belichick. But yet Mike Tomlin is supposed to be a good coach. What's Mike Tomlin's record against New England? I know that's not a winning record. What did Mike Tomlin do against Sean Payton? Everybody has a hard time with New England, not just the Steelers. I don't see it. Mike Tomlin is a good coach, but I don't think he's a good coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers because he can't get us over the top. We get outcoached by New England every single time. I don't think we're the better team than New England on paper. Literally, no reason why we should be losing to New England. To win the Super Bowl, you got to have a solid team, but also a good coaching staff. Let's look at the last 10 coaches that won the Super Bowl. Who has a winning record against the Patriots? Okay? But we're talking about coaches that can beat New England by coaching. To beat New England, you have to out-coach Bill Belichick. We can't be talking about other teams losing to New England because it's New England. The Pittsburgh Steelers are supposed to be one of the best teams in NFL history. So are the New England Patriots. So I don't really want to accept the fact that losing to New England is acceptable. We got to find a way to get over them. We got to find a way to get over the hump. Mike Tomlin has to find a way to win these playoff games on the defensive side of the ball. Let's see. Doug Peterson not coach Bill Belichick in that Super Bowl. Let's see who also outcoached Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl. Tom Coughlin not coached Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl. Twice. It's possible. Super Bowl is not, bro. We had the most talented team in all of football. Literally. And we didn't win no Super Bowl and got stumped by the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship game in 2016. And lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying that should be the expectation. Oh my God, bro. This junk is crazy, man. I didn't expect nobody to be on here trying to defend Mike Tomlin. So Pittsburgh not being in the playoffs last season doesn't bother you guys? Pittsburgh constantly underachieving doesn't bother you guys? In 2017, Pittsburgh was supposed to be facing New England in the AFC Championship game. 2016, Pittsburgh was supposed to be in the Super Bowl. Wow. That is freaking crazy. Defending a coach that constantly underachieves, but yet never had a losing record. Nobody's going to remember that. I'm still a fan for life too, but I'm calling it how I see it. Literally almost every single Pittsburgh Steelers fan on Instagram was upset. Literally, I'm not the only YouTuber that was upset about him getting an extension either. Wow. Don't get so crazy, man. Let me see if I get my laptop. Alright, so we're finna go back at all these games, right? All these games. Mike Tomlin will not be here for a while. And Mike Tomlin got that 1 year extension for a reason. It's a reason why he only got a 1 year extension. If he was going to be here for a while, unless Mike Tomlin makes it to the playoffs this year and we go farther than the wild card game, what coach would you want? I want a coach that knows how to beat the New England Patriots and get us back to the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh, I don't know why people keep on saying he's never had a losing season. So not making it to the playoffs is considered a winning season to you guys? We didn't make it to the playoffs. The goal is to make it to the playoffs and compete for a Super Bowl. A 1 year prove-it deal. So let's see. Alright. Let's see. What coach would you want? I want Bill Belichick. We have Bill Belichick as our coach. Pittsburgh will have 8 Super Bowls right now. If Pittsburgh had Bill Belichick as their head coach, we'll have 8 Super Bowls right now. I literally gave him credit for beating New England. I said at the beginning of this live stream that was one of the best coaching jobs I've seen out of Mike Tomlin in the last few seasons. Other than that Kansas City Chiefs game from a few seasons ago. I gave him credit for that. I said that was a good game. I said that was a very well coached game. I gave him credit for that. But what else? What else? We lost to Denver. We lost to Oakland. I'm not going to give him no blame for that New Orleans game, even though we could have been a lot better on the defense side of the ball. No, my standard is to compete for a Super Bowl every single season, or at least make it to the AFC Championship game. I'm not expecting every season. I know that's not realistic, but I'm expecting us to be competing for as many AFC Championship games as New England Patriots have the last few seasons. What makes the New England Patriots different from us? We're supposed to be one of the most storied franchises in the AFC and the NFL, right? New England's coaching staff always gets New England, finds a way to get New England back to the AFC Championship game when all the odds seem against their favor. These guys went without their best wide receiver in Josh Gordon. Rob Gronkowski barely was ineffective, and they still found a way to make it to the AFC Championship game. Let's see, man. Let's see. I got my computer out, so we finna go examine some things. Let's see. Exactly. That's what I keep telling y'all about, playing down the competition and not playing up the expectations. We should at least been in we should at least been in 3 AFC championship games over the last decade. So what are you guys expectations for the Pittsburgh Steelers? We are not New England. Dude, we have 6 Super Bowls. We're supposed to be as good as New England. We're supposed to be as good as New England. Mike Tomlin's supposed to be one of the best coaches in the NFL. He's supposed to find a way to get this team over the hump into at least the AFC Championship game. Man, Tim Tebow beat us before. I hate that. We should be better than New England. New England over the last few seasons. When is the last time we can actually say New England deserved to beat us? On paper. When's the last time we looked at a New England Patriots team and was like, New England, they look better than the Pittsburgh Steelers on paper? I can't recall it. I don't know why I can't connect to the internet right now. That junk crazy. Y'all make sure to go join that fantasy football league though. It's in the community tab on my channel. I don't know what is going on. That's why they don't play the games on paper. But Mike Tomlin, right? If we had think about all the Super Bowl, he's the second best coach. If we had Bill Belichick as our head coach, do you guys know how many Super Bowls we would have right now? We would have 8 Super Bowls if Bill Belichick was the head coach right now. But yeah, we lost because we get out coached. Mike Tomlin actually out coached Bill Belichick last season. That was a very beautiful game. I don't know if you guys were here when I first started the live stream, but I gave him credit for that. I said that was one of the best coach games I've seen Mike Tomlin have in the last few seasons. It was a beautiful game plan. When's the last time a player took a pay cut? Why are we talking about this, man? I'm talking about how we had Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown and only went to one AFC Championship game. Big Ben in his prime. And we lost to Jacksonville freaking Jaguars in 2017. I know you guys are getting tired of me bringing that up, but I mean, ain't no way we should have lost that game. Be realistic now. Be realistic. No way we should have lost to Jacksonville Jaguars in 2017. Maybe that game when Big Ben had them 5 turnovers, we deserved to lose that game. But in the playoffs, man, Jacksonville was looking like an all-star offense out there. No way we should have lost that game. So let's see Mike Tomlin's coaching record. That is so crazy. I mean, gosh, I'm giving y'all credit. I think Mike Tomlin is a good coach, but he has underachieved. We had one of the most talented rosters in all of football, and even make it to one Super Bowl with those guys. We had Antonio Brown, Big Ben, and Le'Veon Bell all in their prime, and we literally wasted it away. Didn't get nothing out of it. No Super Bowl appearance. All we got was one AFC Championship game appearance when we got smacked down by the New England Patriots. Pittsburgh Steelers. 2018 season. Literally. What has Mike Tomlin done? And how many Super Bowls has he had? How many Super Bowls? It's not about what you do in the regular season. It's about what you do in the postseason. Postseason is where money is made. Postseason is what separates the good coaches from the elite coaches. That's what makes legends. That's what makes future Hall of Famers. Nobody's gonna remember, bro. When we talk about the best, when we talk about the greatest coaches of all time, right? We always talk about how many Super Bowls they've won. Mike Tomlin has only won one Super Bowl. One. Let's see. How's the season at, man? We beat Cleveland, beat down Minnesota. That's not even from this season, man. That's 2017. All right, let's see. As many as Coward. But how many AFC Championship games did Bill Coward go to? So let's see. We tied with the Cleveland freaking Browns. I don't know how the heck that happened, but hey, it happened. Tied with the Cleveland Browns. Beat Tampa. Lost to Baltimore. Beat down the sorry Falcons team. Beat Cincinnati. We beat the crap out of Cleveland the next time we played them. Beat the Ravens. Beat down Carolina. Barely beat Jacksonville. We lost to the Denver Broncos. Lost to the LA Chargers, even though we did get cheated that game. Lost to the Oakland Raiders. Beat New England. Lost to the Saints. And barely beat the Cincinnati Bengals. So Pittsburgh lost to 1, 2, 3. We lost to 3 teams that weren't in the playoffs. I don't think that should be happening. Let's go to 2017. Y'all finna make me check the box scores, aren't y'all? Finna make me check the box scores. I mean, we can put that game on Big Ben, but really we can put it on Chris Boswell. Put it on Chris Boswell as well. Let's see. Let's look at the box score. I'm not saying Mike Tomlin isn't a good coach. I'm not underestimating his greatness. I just think it's time to move on and find a different head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers because Mike Tomlin can't get the job done. We should have been in the Super Bowl. We should be winning Super Bowls. We should be competing for AFC Championship games. Not at home watching the freaking playoffs. So let's see. And despite what people want to say about Big Ben Roethlisberger, he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Because where would we be without Big Ben? Oh, God. Yeah, Big Ben was tripping that game. That boy threw 3 interceptions. Wow. That boy threw 3 interceptions. Big Ben was tripping that game. Big Ben was tripping that game. But my thing is, I think it's time to move on from Mike Tomlin as the head coach. We need something new. As a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I want to see something new. I want to see a new head coach come in there. I just want to see something new. Every time we go to the playoffs, we come up short. Everybody keeps talking about that. Okay. So did Big Ben allow... Wow. Everybody's going to blame it on Big Ben. Dude, let's just blame it all on Big Ben. Let's just blame it on Big Ben, shall we? Let's just blame it all on Big Ben. Let's act like Mike Tomlin's not a defensive-minded coach and couldn't stop Kansas City from scoring 42 points. Okay. 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 All right. Grass ain't always green on the other side. You see, 2017 was the best season Mike Tomlin had coaching. Look at this. This was the 2017 season. That's what the score should look like when you have a defensive-minded coach. How many teams put up 40 on us? How many teams actually lit up the scoreboard on us? What? Only 1, 2. In that whole entire season, we only had 2 games when teams scored over 30 points. 3 games, actually. That's what I expect out of a defensive-minded coach like a Mike Tomlin. Now, what happened last season? How many people put 30 on us? I mean, Tony Dungy with Tampa got fired and he went to the playoffs, and he got fired with Tampa and took him to the playoffs. So let's see. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 games when opponents scored over 30 on us. I'm not saying Mike Tomlin's not a good coach. I'm just saying I want to change. I want a coach that can actually outwit a guy like Bill Belichick in the playoffs when it all counts. Regular season, okay, we beat New England. But what about when it's time in the playoffs? When it's time to compete for championships? Can he outcoach Bill Belichick then? I want to see our playoff losses. I'm just saying. I just think it's time for a change. We gave him a 1-year deal. I hope he succeeds. I like Mike Tomlin. I know we finished top 10 in defense last season and still missed the playoffs. Versus Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs. I'm just saying, I just think I just want to change, man. I just want to change. I want to coach. I want Bill and Antonio Brown dictate the franchise. That's kind of coach I want. I want a disciplinarian. And that's what Mike Tomlin was when he first became the coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I just think he just became a little bit too complacent. I'm not okay with not making it to the playoffs. As a Steelers fan, I expect us to be competing for an AFC championship game, on the trip to the Super Bowl, be in the Super Bowl, or in the AFC championship game, and not missing the playoffs. I don't care if we had to win a record this season. We still didn't make it to the playoffs. That's an indictment. I see what you guys saying. But still, I'm not happy. He got a 1-year extension. I already broke it down. 1-year prove-it deal. Because obviously, if I'm not the Pittsburgh Steelers front office obviously isn't confident with him because they gave him a 1-year extension. So obviously, he's doing something wrong. Pittsburgh only gave him a 1-year extension. Why? Because he got something to prove. He hasn't been doing what he's supposed to be doing. That's why he got a 1-year extension. If he got a multi-year extension, then that means Pittsburgh would be confident in him. So he still needs to prove something. He got 1 more year left. They added on another year to his deal. So what is Mike Tomlin going to do in the playoffs? Pittsburgh versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's how I feel. When you have expectations, your expectations should never go down. At one point, our expectations as Steelers fans was to be in Super Bowl every single season. And we were. Not every single season, but nearly every single season. We went to Super Bowl in 2006. Well, when we played Seattle, in the Super Bowl 2 years later, went to Super Bowl again, beat Arizona, went to Super Bowl 2 years later after that, beat Green Bay, and after that, haven't been to the Super Bowl since. Closest we came was getting smacked down by New England. I'm just saying, expectations had went lower and lower. Expectations went from competing for championships to now being okay if we're able to make it to the playoffs. Turnover. Every loss I'm gonna speak on. Let's see. Pittsburgh's NFL postseason. Postseason 2017. I just don't want to give my guy Big Ben a break. Despite the fact that Big Ben wasn't the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, Mike Tomlin most likely wouldn't have a job. Let's see. Big Ben didn't let Tim Tebow score that touchdown. The defense did. Big Ben didn't get smacked down by the New England Patriots in that AFC Championship game in 2016. The defense was the one that got smacked down, but I'm going to give y'all the turnovers, man. Since y'all... So it's the players' fault. We can't blame Mike Tomlin for not having a good formation on the defense side of the ball. We lost to the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars. Bro, they don't even give you a freaking playoff recap. Jaguars versus Steelers. Y'all make sure to go join that fantasy league, man. It's in the community tab. Just click on the channel, click on my channel logo, and go to the community tab. I'm gonna start the draft on like August 15th. Let's see. All right, I'm giving you guys what you want. So I pulled up the game against Jacksonville. We're gonna look at the box score. Jacksonville scored 45 freaking points on us. Big Ben threw 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. Big Ben only threw 1 interception in this game. Big Ben was 37 for 58 passing, 469 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. But the defense was the one who allowed Jacksonville to score 45 points. Jacksonville destroyed us on the run, just destroyed us on the ground. We led in time of possession. And it was at Pittsburgh. But I'm going to give y'all guys this, man. Still not happy. Want to see more out of Mike Tomlin this season. And I think he has a lot to prove. Okay. Well, I'm finna end. Well, I think Mike Tomlin needs to up the urgency. We can't ignore the fact that Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell has been dictating the franchise. But I'm going to give Mike Tomlin another chance, man. Still think he's a solid coach, but I'm just disappointed with what I've been seeing out of him the last few seasons. All right, man. I'm done, man.